Again, she doesn't say it. She just assumes that it's a leech.
Well, anyway, Ross smiles a little, again, not to all of you, and says, well, I suppose it is only fair that you meet, everyone's best friend. At least everyone who belongs to this group. He's the one who foretold your coming. I have never been so glad to see him right as now. You guys, who are any of you looking at anyone except Ross?
Not anymore. There has been like short glances to everyone as they said their name, but he's, the big tattooed gentleman with the booming voice is definitely taking up real estate in Aaron's vision.
Very good way of putting it. Fair enough.
He's clearly introducing someone, so I have to pay attention to him.
Well, he gestures actually behind you people. He gestures to the rest of the people who are present, and he shouts out loud. He says, "Rock, call it!" And Rock of Glendalough leans back his head and lets out this long, beautiful, somber howl. This crystal clear howl that, you know, you'd have to have a heart made of cast iron not to be moved slightly by that. It's primal and it's utterly beautiful.
Yeah, Taliesin does get misty-eyed at the sound.
Yeah, this wolf knows what he's doing, and then he looks to Siobhan, and he looks to see, just on the safe side here. Yeah, and he looks to Barden, and the two of them lean their heads back. They're obviously in Hommet, so you know they're still looking completely human, but they lean their heads back, and both release a screech like a raven on steroids, basically. This is they both make this distinct cawing sound. It doesn't sound like a human imitating a raven. It sounds like ravens.
It sounds like a big raven.
Very large raven, yes. And then Ross simply nods in the direction of Kat. And she slams her hands together in front of her, folding her fingers into each other, so she forms like a double fist.
Mm-hmm.
And she begins to literally glow blue. Like little almost molecules of light rising from her skin very, very slowly, like water running down a pane of glass, except this is running upwards. Her hair flows behind her, and her face is completely still in a mask of complete concentration. Her eyes go blue, totally solid blue, the same blue as the light that drips off her. And the cry of the ravens and the howl of the wolf in the background then form together, and from in front of you, out of the bonfire, rises this magnificent, enormous raven, which then takes off, flies upwards, and apparently shrinks. Still large, but it's not that big anymore. And it flies down and lands in a nearby tree, looking down over you.
I think Shiva immediately glows. You? As she recognizes the raven. I assume I'm allowed to do that.
Yes. She would recognize the raven.
So she gasps and exclaims,
It's got
"You?"
the same, it's got the same bluish light around the wings as the one you saw. So yes, and the raven doesn't speak or anything, but it does clearly observe you. And I'm sad to say, I think we may have lost someone.
It doesn't look like it right now.
I don't think so.
It looks like Heine dropped out of Roll20.
No. Oh, Roll20. I had to close the browser, but
no worries.
I'm still here.
Okay, no problem. As long as that happened.
I think Shiva's head just goes ping-ponging from the raven to Ross.
I'm gonna ask you a question, Storyteller.
Yeah.
That is based on the law and in this situation. That is, since Raven, Crow, and Stormcrow all serve Grandfather Thunder in a certain respect. Is there a feeling of spiritual closeness or some kind of profundity to watching the spirit outside of I just watched a giant raven being summoned out of nowhere?
Well, I think there's a feeling of profundity for all of you, but none that are, you don't have any. There isn't one that is particularly strong for you, especially. It's just this was clearly something out of the ordinary. This
Definitely.
raven is, first and foremost, this raven shouldn't be. It came out of the fire.
A lot of things shouldn't be right now.
Yeah.
So what's important to me is not whether it had a bigger effect on me than the others. I just wanted to know if there was some.
Yeah.
And in that there is. So I think Aaron is overstimulated right now. He I think he's frozen. He's looking at this creature and marvels wordlessly at the huge fucking spirit raven that then turns into a raven that sits there looking at them as if it knows them.
You hear a voice in the almost coming from all around you. It's not even from the ground, it's not from the fire, it's not from the raven. It does have that slightly screechy sound that you would imagine that a raven would speak in if it could learn a few words. But it opens. It doesn't open its beak, but the voice is laughing at first. Not a mocking kind of laughter, but a happy one.
It's having a good time.
Yes, this is a happy laugh. And it says, "Behold the 6 that I have won, stolen, cheated, brought together. Behold the 6 from which the emeralds will flow. Behold the 6 that will save the green fields of Iran."
Aaron looks around to notice the 6.
Yeah, those would be, obviously, you 6.
And he looks at the others. Not that the giant spirit raven doesn't demand attention, just that as the raven says this, and it's obviously directed at him, he, 2 + 2 is 4, the raven is speaking to the rest of the sept. And Aaron is kind of curious how the rest look at this moment. What are their reactions?
Their reactions for everyone present is one of complete silence. Everyone is looking towards Kat, who is still standing there looking completely, utterly the same as she did before.
They think she's bullshitting?
No.
Okay.
But she's the one they're focusing on.
Okay.
And the raven from the sitting in the tree actually takes off and lands on her shoulder. That, as you notice it, that actually, even though everyone is still quiet, even though everyone is still observing her closely, you see a lot of eyes narrowing when that happens.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I think...
Aaron...
The Raven lands there. Ross, incidentally, is not one of them.
I was gonna say, because Ross is standing in a kind of different direction than the rest of them, so Aaron actually spares a glance at Ross too, and notices that he is not reacting in this way. He
is simply taking this in a very, very matter-of-factly manner. He's not in any way, he's not showing any emotion.
He's being stoic.
Yes, he's being stoic. The voice returns after a moment and says, "When everything turns red rather than green, and when all is silent, and when the Tuatha De Danann are no longer dancing at the hills of Tara, these six nothing else." It stops. That doesn't say anything after these six. Everyone looks back towards you guys.
Can I quickly ask, because Shiva would know what all these weird Irish words mean?
The Tuatha De Danann are the
elves, right?
They are the elves. They are. They were the friends and companions of the original Great Irish heroes.
Okay. And there was also one earlier, which I assumed meant Ireland.
Yes, Eran means Irish or Ireland. Yes.
Okay. Yes. Then please do not let me interrupt you anymore. Well, unless I interrupt you anew. But
no worries. The voice, the cawing vanishes. Cat stops glowing, and the raven takes off, and for all intents and purposes, is simply a raven.
Huh.
Well, that's still a rare sight.
At this point, I think Taliesin looks around at everyone to see the confusion, the expressions.
And then you probably notice the angry looks towards Cat. And you probably also notice the look of the very slight smirk on her face.
I was going to say, is there any hint of insecurity in Cat? Like that she's standing in a den of lions and she's like, yeah, I'm really... What?
None. She's daring them.
Very cool. Yeah, since you said you were looking around, I think Aaron has taken a moment to notice how everyone looks, but for himself, he's just like, he looks like he's kind of in an overstimulated sort of shock. Doesn't really... It's a full moon out, and there's spirits and bonfires and huge burly men with tattoos, and he's not aware of how he looks. Which means he's
probably got this slightly feverish look to him right now.
Yeah, I actually think he doesn't really mean to reflect this, but I think unconsciously he sort of projects his, like, this air that, of an Arun during a full moon, and, like, for the others, there's, like, this visible, he's a 3 dots pure breed in the, like, huge bonfire, something about him, you know, kinda jazzes with the situation without him actually knowing it.
Yeah.
That's probably what's going on. But then, other than that, just utter confusion and just waiting for something to happen.
Yes.
I think Shiva turns to Ross, expecting, like, an explanation or something.
Ross actually runs a hand through his beard in pretty much the exact pose on the picture.
Mm-hmm.
And goes... We shall have to see what that exactly means. As far as I can tell, nothing has turned red yet.
That's good then. I have no idea what we're supposed to do.
Cat looks towards Ross as he says that and says, but it will. And then she just stretches, cracks her knuckles, looks at Eric, and says, "You and I are leaving. We aren't welcome here. Let's have a couple of friendly beers up at the Longstone, why don't we?" And you can just hear the growls.
I'm up for a few beers.
Cat grins. Cat grins at the both of you and says, No. You stay here. They don't dislike you guys. Not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet. There's plenty for you to learn. Come and tell me all about it later. More growls. The only one who doesn't seem to be particularly hostile towards her, really, is Ross. Well, all the children of Gaia aren't particularly hostile either. But other than that, yes, it's a pretty universal thing. They don't like her.
That says one of two things about Ross. Either he's a much more even-headed man than most, or he is very good at hiding his emotions.
Oh, he's just a very good leader.
Yes.
Eric laughs out loud as he turns around himself, spreads his arms out wide, looks up at the moon, still with a maniacal grin on his face. He laughs at the top of his lungs, like not a manic or mad kind of laughter, but one of genuine joy, and he seems extremely full of life that moment. And then he shouts in Swedish, and for those of you who are Danish, you would probably be able you would be able to understand, because what he's saying is fairly simple. What he's saying is, "This place is ours. Raven says so." And then he walks away with Cat.
That guy is weird. She was mutters to herself.
Aaron bites down on an everyone is weird. Doesn't permit it over his lips. Instead, he turns to Ross, looking expectantly.
Ross nods to all of you and says, "I think the best thing to do, this is your first night. Everyone is here to celebrate the fact that you've arrived. There won't be that much training tonight. Lads and lasses, not tonight. There will be plenty of time for that later. Tonight we just enjoy ourselves, we have fun. If you want, you can have a drink, you can have two, you can drink yourself into stupor for all I care, we'll bring you home safe. Have a good time, get to know people. These are the closest thing you have to family now."
Aaron visibly jerks at that comment.
He actually notices that and looks at you. What's wrong?
Aaron looks at his chest instead of his eyes, and just shakes his head. Nothing. Nothing's wrong.
Clearly something is, because you reacted quite strongly to that. So, what's up with your family, boy?
There's nothing wrong with my family. And now he looks Ross in the eye.
I never said that. I said, what's up with your family?
Nothing.
Mr. Ross?
Hi.
I didn't catch your last name. I'm sorry.
Sullivan. Ross will do.
What? I've seen that raven before. What was it?
Raven is the guardian of this cairn. This place. This is a holy place for the werewolves of Dublin.
But I was quite far away from Dublin when I saw.
Well, Raven is in many places, not just one.
And what about the stag?
You saw stag as well.
Yeah.
Aren't you a fortunate one? Stag is the The ancient guardian and protector of all the Fina. That's us, if you hadn't been told. But I'm assuming Mary at least told you that much.
She were nods.
Mary actually looks slightly offended at that.
I think Taliesin goes over to Aaron and says, "Come on, forget your troubles and have a drink."
What? Yeah. Yeah, sure. Thanks. What's your name?
Taliesin, just Tally will do.
All right. Hi, Tally. Good to meet you. I'm Aaron.
Pleasure.
He's definitely very tense, so it's like this very very mechanical handshake. He's offering you just like a straight arm. Just hi.
Taliesin takes it warmly, but not over enthusiastically. He knows he knows he has to try and tease the tension out of you.
Yeah.
Without he's obviously not going to just bring the point up, but it's like, yeah, go and celebrate. You won't let your hair down, but get the tension out of you, basically.
As you grasp his hand, his gaze flickers briefly back up to Ross. And well, it's a full moon. He's very easily pissed tonight, so he doesn't mean anything bad by it, but his gaze flickers to Ross, and the handshake is too hard.
Yeah, he notices. He probably has to suppress only partially successfully a wince, but goes with it. You know.
Yeah. And then he obviously notices himself and lets go of your hand a bit too fast, and then he's just kind of tosses his head apologetically and moves with you in whatever direction you mean to go right now.
Yeah, I say to him, I know it's not my place to tell you what to do, but come on, let's do something. Let's celebrate. Let's de-stress. Let's enjoy this night.
Yeah, sure. So, what's up? How did you get roped into this?
Oh. Good question.
Taking the joint away from his ear and contemplating it as they move, he smirks and just says, "Oh, I think you'll like this story." And I think we walk off, and then we can let the others talk their talk.
Oh, in that case, I won't leave.
Well, no. Rasmus is being, and there's dinner here, so I'd like to go get some food. Can take a very short break because I don't want to miss anything.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Cool.
That would allow me to make tea and popcorn as well, so I'm sure Joan would love some tea.
Right,
we shall take a 10-minute recess.
Sure.
Okay.
No.
When we have the 10-minute recess, play 30 seconds of The Girl from Ipanema or something.
And I'm just gonna leave it in rip-roaring quiet, actually.
No. Don't be comedic. You've got to play something epic. You've got to have like Latin chanting or something.
No.
Come on. We can do Latin chanting.
It's just like inappropriately climactic music to an otherwise like chill opening scene. It's like the Dies Irae Judex whatever from Hunchback of Notre Dame, just playing over the sound of us talking.
Something like that, or what's it called, Lacrimosa?
Yeah.
Oh, but that epic trailer music thing.
No, I was thinking of that part from Mozart's Requiem.
Oh, right. Oh, dear. Everyone knows Dies Irae from both Mozart and from Verdi's version as well.
Yes, but that is because it is the same text.
Well, of course it is. It's the same, but it's decided, no, we must have a different version.
Exactly, it's like they have in the text is the same in every Te Deum ever written because it's the same prayer.
Of course. Yes. Oh, what's that bit of music? Oh, I think it's not an actual hymn, but it's been designed to sound like one. It's from a YouTube video called Monogenes Pais. It's just like this one guy with a very deep voice chanting and what's meant to sound just those two words in a way that sounds like a prayer. But anyway, so now I've got to start thinking of I need to start thinking of lyrics to describe our stories.
Yes, that is definitely your job.
God help me.
Aren't you happy? You get to be the one who retells all your epic adventures. And then when you haven't given enough care and attention to what the Aruns have done, they're going to come after you to beat you up. And when you haven't given enough care and attention to what the Ragabash has done, then she's going to, I don't know, put hobnails on the inside of your boots or something.
He's gonna nail your dick to a railway spike.
Yes, either way, yes. We'll see what happens, depending on how people...
Or they may all just love you.
I doubt that.
Why? Because you're Welsh? You're racist?
No, that's not... I'm playing the Welshman. I can't be racist towards my own character.
Yes, you can.
Imagine a Dane really hating Danes, completely racist toward Danes, and only Danes.
Yes, that can happen. They'll just excuse themselves on the grounds that the people they're complaining about clearly aren't Danish.
Well put.
You sure about that?
You're not a Dane. You don't understand how much I suck.
I kind of feel sad for Aaron. Like, you.
God damn it if I'm going to, speak out loud of deep personal issues to this fucking biker dude in front of a congregation of weirdos. Who does he think he is? I have a good mind to beat his face.
Oh, you're talking about Ross?
I mean, he does appear very nice, and I do like him. But at that moment, I wanted to punch him. I just didn't.
Yes, I love the fact that, basically, at the moment, you've got the normal teenage part of you that kind of respects him, and then you've got the beaten into him Shadow Lord part of him demanding respect.
I think the one I'm definitely juggling with the most right now is kind of trying to represent this, a teenager tentatively treading grounds here. Just combining that with the fact that I'm presently at difficulty 3 to rage. And it's not getting better until the full moon is away.
In other words, if you're making a rage roll and you roll over 3, then you go into rage. Yeah, I might not frenzy, but I'm definitely. This is Aaron at his angriest. I just haven't had an excuse to really explode. He's also I'm cutting it a bit of leeway because it's the opening scene and so on, so I'm downplaying it a teensy-weensy bit, for ease of flow and so on, but... And he might be angry, but he's not suicidal.
Yeah, it's like maybe it's like the stimuli from all other sources are kind of competing for space in with the rage. Yep. But, yeah.
He's a very angry teenager, but right now something else is happening, and it's kind of... demanding his attention.
Yeah, tonight is a night where he's very easy to trigger.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have hard limit something derp.
Which is kind of why I wanted Taliesin to be the one to go over to him and actually, you can't convince him to not be angry, but you can convince him to hold his anger until in a safe place, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Give him the joint. Maybe he can fall asleep.
Oh no.
Okay, I'm here.
Hey, Hillip.
Okay.
How long have we got left on the break thing? 5 minutes?
No clue.
Well, when everyone is back, but I think maybe 5 minutes, yes. I think Rasmus is still making popcorn and tea, so...
Cool, I'll go to the toilet then.
Yeah, I was going to say, I need toilet and I need to refill my 2.5 pints of blackcurrant squash. And maybe get some biscuits or something, so I'll be back in a short while.
How on earth did you share my post?
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Nope. Hello. Huh. Very nice.
What are you doing?
I was reading through the chat and saw that Hele had said something about sketching up Fenna, so I grabbed a look at that. I've been every time we're speaking to someone, I'm opening their journal and just scrolling through the text, so our viewers, our potential viewers, can pause the video and read through if they want to.
Ah, you're being very accommodating.
Thank you. I do try. I also try to not let it interfere with my immersion. Just juggling the recording stuff. So far, Joan has managed to make it feel very epic to me as a player. Whereas, like, I definitely feel like this is something, like, important and significant, and oh my god, this is, like, a great start to a cool game. And then, at the same time, my character feels, like, very uncomfortable.
And Simba is back. Hi, Simba!
Hi, Tamrin.
But our joint smoker has left.
Oh.
Smokes Joint's best name.
It's just like, very strong names. Sleeps and feels. Okay, it's okay. Smoke joints. Oh god, poor pup.
Well, apparently smoking joints is a good thing if you're a child of Gaia.
Well, for a child of Gaia name, it's probably good. That's what Ross said instead.
Just looking at Peacenik going, it could have been much worse.
I return once again.
Welcome back.
Hi.
I'm imagining, like, the slew of establishmentarian discrimination going on in Aaron's mind in that exact moment. Where it's like, what's your name? My name is Smokes Joints, and everyone's kind of like, everyone's reacting. And then Ross is being like, no, that's a good name. That's a good name. Do you sing? And, like, in Aaron's mind, just like, yeah, it's like writing songs about water. Like, playing an acoustic guitar under a tree, being really smug about it, like, just fucking poser.
Oh, yeah.
That all, like, that would have happened in, like, the blink of an eye, and then just, no, bad Aaron.
Taran kinda made the connection when Peacenik tried to force a joint into Taliesin's hand, that it was like, yeah, it's probably his fault, which is why it's like, oh my god, you poor boy, and then looked at him.
Yeah.
Just like imagining conflict start like 5 minutes into the actual session, being like, hey, get off him, you fucking old homeless hippie! And then getting your face crushed, and then just, ow.
No, more like, don't smoke it, Tally. Why? He might be trying to roofie you.
No.
Very old, greasy rapist.
No. Is that what the description meant by him helping so many young people across Dublin? Because if so,
oh god, no.
Yeah.
Helping them come to terms with their sexuality.
He's helping them get a good and solid career in the drug smuggling business by opening their rectal cavities properly.
Mummy, make the nasty people go away.
Joan, there's tea over here if you want.
I want.
I think she's given up on us by this point.
Sorry.
Come on, what? How can I say
We know this is supposed to be a very serious place with a very serious setting.
That's why we're using this this moment of this pause to vent.
I'm just going to say this, like Finna's current thoughts. Well, in a moment when she's less stunned by everything. Well, she I mean, come on, Taliesin's name. Like, she's been told that her role is to be the one who keeps the others from getting too much of an ego, and it's just like, he's going to need help getting an ego with that name.
That's probably her job too.
Yeah, I've decided Aaron has been told about jack shit about all this, so I'm going to use some time tonight to actually learn about the society and have Joan tell me stuff.
Yeah, she just went to the bathroom, by the way, so she'll be right back.
That's fine. I don't really, I am in no need of a storyteller until we start gaming again.
So we're waiting for Joan and Heine?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Heine never left.
Oh, so we're actually just waiting for Joan
Just
then.
being like the creepy old lurker that he usually is.
Yep.
He's Peacenik.
Be nice to Connell.
I will.
I don't like the fact that he's like, yeah, I bite hard. Yeah, but I killed 2 leeches.
Connell seems like an asshole. Like a good-natured asshole.
That's rather accurate, actually.
It's just like, yeah, I bite hard, and then Finna, I killed 2 leeches, and Saren, is that more impressive?
Yeah, the whole leeches business is definitely something I'm gonna ask about too. Like, okay, so why is this impressive? What's going on?
We're ready.
That's actually what I wanted to do when there was asked for a break.
Well, I think Joan is getting back in her chair and getting ready.
La 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 la.
Icon has popcorn?
Aww. The first thing we hear from our GM of Doom is, I can have popcorn?
Remember to point the popcorn...
She's not a GM, she's a storyteller.
Remember to point the popcorn noise and nonsense away from the microphone, because popcorn is going to go straight into the recording. I just know it.
Now you're going to have to play that song or a piece of instrumental music from the...
I think I've got a good first draft for a first verse of our epic tale, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay!
Huh?
Excelente!
I've got some lines that. Well, depending on how we sing these, because if I'm going to sing this like an ancient skull, then it doesn't necessarily need to even. There doesn't need to be a rhyme. There doesn't. Well, there needs to be a tune, but we have got a rhyme. But anyway,
You just ask me to back that up whenever you want it to fail.
nice. Yeah. No. Now I just need to think of the tune to go with the lyrics.
Well, not necessarily even a tune. You can tell a story without singing it.
That's true.
Barden does that, for example. He's not much of a singer.
But no. Yeah. Anyway.
So, yep, you're back in. We're back in character.
Yeah.
Taryn.
Right. Yes. Welcome back, everyone.
Taryn does what? Sorry.
Taryn makes her way to Finna.
Yes.
I believe she's standing with Connell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hi!
Hi. You were... Taryn.
Why'd you kill leeches?
Yeah, why'd you kill leeches, Finna?
So, apparently leech is werewolf for vampire.
A what?
I don't remember, but apparently I killed vampires. 2 of them.
Oh. Did you catch if the name were Edward and Bella? She smirks very widely.
Oh, I hope so.
Oh, perfect. Alright, because I was wondering why the hell you would kill leeches. It didn't make any sense. And it seems like everyone was impressed. But I'm more impressed right now.
But you don't think it's impressive to jump into a pond and step on some leeches?
Well, they usually just come to you. But if you caught them, that would have been impressive. And you were bite hard?
Yep.
Let's start.
Because apparently I bit a FOMO something.
A mofo?
I think Eric called it a FOMO Rio-N thing.
Oh. Alright.
It used to be my coach, actually. But then it sort of wasn't anymore. It was this thing with maggots and it was rather gross, but apparently I bit it hard. I think.
Why would you bite something like that?
To survive. Otherwise, it would have killed me.
Oh, right.
And now that I'm a werewolf, apparently I can bite and shit. So that's cool. I like it, I think. Maybe. I don't know yet.
I like him, though.
I think by this point she was tired of standing by herself, so she goes over to the others.
Who are the others?
That would be you guys.
Okay. So...
hi there.
Hi there.
Hey.
Sleeps in fields.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, seriously. Hi.
Hi.
Sleeps in fields.
Oh no!
It's funny!
Fenna bumps his,
Ow!
with, yeah.
Okay, hi. Sleeps in fields.
Stop laughing at him!
Shiva,
I'm not laughing anymore!
Shiva extends her hand.
Connell takes it and, with an exaggerated bow, raises her hand to his lips and kisses it. Connell's the name.
Killing's the game.
Nerd! I think that does get a smirk from Shiva. And she
starts chuckling.
And go, I'm Shiva Nibreen, as she curtsies.
Shiva what?
Nibreen.
I'll just go with Shiva or sleeps in fields. No, Shiva, because whenever I say sleeps in fields, I can't say that with a straight face. I'm sorry. It's just a thing. So, Shiva. I'm Connell. This is Fenna. And Taryn.
Hi.
Hi.
She extends her hands to the girls as well.
Aaron takes it.
Yeah, and when she extends her hand to Fenna, Fenna also takes it. And then, without really thinking, she steps a little closer and, like, sniffs. She was, like, let's say, her hair or something like that. And then she blushes really, really a lot and just lets go, steps back, and looks away.
Hi there.
No, I did not do that. I did not do that.
Actually, Fenna, you did.
So...
You did. Trust me, you did. You sniffed someone's hair.
Alright. Taryn puts a hand on her shoulder like, you alright?
Here,
So-
I'll let you sniff my hair. He leans in close.
Well, Fenna, it's really hard for her not to. So yeah, she just can't. She actually does turn her head to Taryn's hand.
So she actually just sniffs her hand too.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I don't know. It's like I have to.
Do you think it's some sort of werewolf thing? Shiva looks like the prospect of sniffing people does not sit well with her.
I didn't used to do this.
My cat does it all the time. Maybe it's something like that.
Who?
My dog. I know it doesn't sound well, but, sniffing people.
Unintentional burn is unintentional.
Well,
I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
It's okay.
But you didn't bite us, so it's fine.
While you are standing around everyone, a very friendly-looking man comes around with a 2 6-packs of beer.
Who would that be?
Guinness. This man is him.
Drinks like fish.
Yeesh. He comes around with 2 6-packs of Guinness, and they're not the little cans; they're the pint cans.
Oh god.
And he takes a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. He takes out 2 pint cans for each of you and hands them over with a big friendly smile and heads off to hand it over to the next in line. Have fun.
Thank you.
Taryn looks at hers and then looks at Shiva and then Fenna and then Connell and I'm 14, god damn it.
Fenna just opens one of hers and starts drinking. She needs to not remember this.
Fucking Dane.
Yeah, Shiva puts her down in the snow.
Well, at least it'll be cold.
And Fenna just thinks maybe the alcohol will make it less embarrassing.
Drink it away, drink it away.
I've seen then that Talia, since they've now got drinks, Taliesin and Aaron have actually come back, or at least are still close by to the rest of them then?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I assume... I want to say we don't move too far from the bonfire, because it's probably cold out.
Okay, so... I look to Aaron. You don't drink then?
What? Yeah, I Aaron looks at you, he's like squinting at you for a moment, as if he's trying... For a moment he appears very suspicious, and then he kind of like shakes his head and says, yeah, I drink.
I'm not trying to say do it if you don't want to. I'm just... I mean, goodness sake, I'm not much of a drinker myself, but it's just social, you know?
You're Welsh?
Oh, yes, yes, I come from Wales, yes.
Where from?
Oh, I'm from a little... I'm from a little sort of village just 15 miles east of a place called Little Newcastle, or Casnewythbach. Quite quiet out there. Lots of, well, I think you probably find it quite boring, really. Nothing else really out there, but it's nice to have a quiet upbringing sometimes.
Aaron just, smiles politely and listens.
Okay. Yeah. So,
how the hell did you get roped into this then?
Oh yes, I didn't tell you, did I? Me and my mum, my mother, we've moved over here. She wanted to follow up a job, basically, and we'd been here a week. And I woke up in the middle of the night feeling put out, feeling quite angry. Although, let's face it, we both understand why that is now. And then I go out onto the balcony and I see a raven, oddly enough, with a little blue aura around it. And, being the strange person that I am, I felt compelled to follow it, and so I did, all the way to Phoenix Park. Into where the gate was unlocked, and into the zoo where the gate was unlocked. In fact, I think Raven unlocked it. Into the wolf pens, and Peacenik, the hobo-looking fellow, he was there. And
Aaron smirks, apparently relieved that he now feels it's okay to call him that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go on.
I think would Taliesin notice the shift in?
Yeah, I guess a tiny bit, because definitely, because he would have been on edge. He wants to ask you about the hobo-looking person, and he's been juggling the words he wants to use.
And he notices, I'm sure he wouldn't mind it if you call him that. He's a laid-back fellow. Although I don't think he's had a single moment where he's not been off his soz on weed. Point is, he convinced...
Slow pan movement, like looking at him as he passes, giggling.
Taliesin's face just goes blank, and he just stares into nothing as he lets the giggle appear.
Aaron just shares a look with you and then shrugs and says, "Guess the guy knows how to party."
Oh, absolutely. He convinced me to join the wolves in howling, and, well, apparently I did quite well. I wouldn't know, because I changed as soon as I howled, and apparently ran starkers through Phoenix Park as a wolf, and then wake up starkers as a human, which is a bit more awkward. And I was in such a sort of state, such a high, if you will, that I inadvertently accepted one of his joints. Took a puff.
So what you're saying is things got weird after you run around naked in Phoenix Park?
Yes, I know. It's just... It was one of those nights that people get to have a good snigger at. He helped me change again. Took me to see Old. That fellow over there, he points to Old, who very kindly let me sit on the couch a moment, gave me some spare clothes, and then took me back to my mum. Oh, and while we were there, basically explained a little bit about who I was, what I was, and Nick gave me the charming pup name I've got now. I mean, again, it's not an epic name. It's not as full of potential as yours, I don't think. But it was meant kindly, and I think there's something to be said about that.
Aaron smiles like a really stiff smile when you say that. Like it's definitely not real. It's a card, and then he says, "I think your name's really nice."
There's no need to be too polite about it. I know it's a silly name, but you make the most of what you have. But
to tell you the truth, I'd love to be called Smokes Joints, I guess.
I look at Aaron as if to. I'm genuinely interested in whether or not there's any kind of honesty or kind of reality to that statement, or if he's literally just constructing what he's saying at this point.
It's kind of like a weird duality, because judging by the look on his face, he's being pleasant in an attempt to he's definitely assuming that there's a similar level of discomfort to the situation that you feel, that he feels. And he wants to you've been nice enough to, want to talk to him, so he wants, you to not feel bad about it. At the same time, there is also this hint, perhaps, of the full moon reflecting in his eyes, where you get he maybe would have preferred to be called Smokes Joints and have ran with the wolves.
Yeah, I look at him and say, I'm sorry, it's, without wanting to be too silly about it, it's not your night, is it? And I glance up at the full moon.
Aaron looks at you and says, it is my night, in fact. It's apparently my night forever.
Yes, like the Swedish fellow. Well, hopefully not exactly like the Swedish fellow. That would be a bit... Oh boy, that one's...
What a loud, obnoxious prick.
That's one way of putting it, yes. I would probably have been a bit more diplomatic than that, but then that's my job, isn't it, now?
Fuck diplomacy, unless he can hear me from wherever he is right now.
Oh, I wouldn't put it past him, he says. And at this point, as he's saying that, he, Taliesin very sort of furtively brings one of the pint cans to his lips as if to try and look sheepish. He's like, I don't want to be here when you say that. But
that could be bad for my health.
Aaron catches on, and again, as I made a point of, he doesn't want to make you feel uncomfortable, so he changes the subject.
Yes. Okay, so what does he talk about then?
Well, you guys can hear in the background the girl on the pipes. She's put her pipes down, and she's picked up another instrument instead, and has started playing.
Okay, what's she playing?
And let me just find it here, because she's got quite a few of them, obviously.
She's playing a hurdy-gurdy.
No, she's not. No, she's actually not. She doesn't play that one.
Thurman!
She does
No,
play...
she's picked up the flute Gaelach.
The what?
The Irish flute.
Mm-hmm. Should have picked that up when you said Gaelach.
Yeah, flute Gaelach.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but she's making nonsense sounds, and even if I can figure some of it out, I have to say the what?
No worries.
Yes, if to any Irish Gaelic speakers who may in fact be listening to this on behalf of everyone
sorry.
here, well, apart from no, she's our resident crosser of thresholds, as it were, is not sorry, but I'll be sorry on her behalf because I have to be ashamed for everyone.
There's a bit of an echo now. Not much.
Not me.
Yeah. Well, some. Okay, you guys are still all around, or in the immediate vicinity, I'm taking it, of...
the bonfire?
Of the bonfire, right?
Yeah.
Where in
I
the
assume
park was
so.
the bonfire, by the way?
What, sorry?
Where in the park was the bonfire? I didn't catch that.
I'm assuming that's center.
Okay.
Me
Dead
too.
center. There are two, these two are what is it called? The fountains.
Yeah.
And they are actually going, which is unusual because at this time of year, normally the fountains in St. Stephen's Green are turned off because 2 inches of snow.
Yeah.
Frost.
Yeah.
Coming.
Exactly.
So, question for those that were talking with Fenna and stuff. Are we standing by one of the fountains or somewhere else? Because if we're by one of the fountains and they're not entirely empty, well, if they're like,
There's a full moon. There's a reflection.
there's a reflection, okay? Because I think Fenna is pretty stressed right now.
Yeah,
But,
she is.
I mean,
Probably.
unless we're returning to those, we should wait with that.
Yeah. No, I was just wanted to know. Do go on, guys. I'm sorry. I just had to clarify.
It's
All right.
just
But anyway, as I said, she picks up the flute and she begins to play, and it is quite possibly a song a lot of you guys have heard in one version or another. You hear a woman's voice begin to sing it, and you hear quite a lot of people joining in on the refrain and the clapping.
what's
She begins to sing "Whiskey in the Jar."
Of course.
That's
I don't know if Connell and Venom moved since we stood around the bonfire, but Taryn just came over to them.
Yeah. Same with Shiva. I think when they begin singing, Shiva does like a face, like, "Ugh." And then she looks at the others and says, "Excuse me, I'm not really in the mood. I think I'll find Mary and see if I can convince her to let me go."
Since we're back with us, I think Johan and I have something that has to be taken care of.
Let's, yeah. Is there a role for it? I can't even remember.
That probably is.
There is.
The rule.
You know what? You don't have that kind of control yet.
But I do have 12 wits.
I assume wits are involved.
There is a role involved. Even if it's unconscious, she
Involuntary,
still has to make the roll.
She has to roll to see how fast she passes through the.
Yeah, but there's also the one to avoid it. But are you just going to say that? I don't get that.
You don't get that because you need to know to avoid it to begin with. This is the first time it happens.
And Taryn's nearby.
Wits plus occult difficulty 7 to avoid shifting into the Umbra unintentionally.
Yes, she
And
doesn't know how to in this case. This is the first time ever it happens.
She still has to, if it happens, I assume it happens. It's still, even if it's unintentional, she still has to roll Gnosis versus Disarmed.
Absolutely. She has to roll Gnosis to see how quickly it goes, or, I mean, it may fail completely.
The difficulty is one lower than it actually is. So whatever the veil is, whatever the gauntlet is in this cairn, is one lower for her.
Yes, and it's a cairn, so the veil is already very low. You have to roll against the difficulty of 3.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so I don't actually really know how to do this whole rolling.
Have you made the character sheet? Because then you can just click Gnosis on it. In it.
Can I can I just like that? Okay.
You just click Gnosis.
And when it asks you for pool modifiers, you don't have any, and the difficulty is what Joan said it was, so 3.
Difficulty 3.
And roll.
3 successes.
Woo!
That's pretty fast.
That's very quickly. You are looking into the into the water, just for a brief moment, and suddenly you feel yourself slipping into the water. Not getting wet. Just literally... It's actually a feeling not entirely unlike going through the gate.
Okay.
And I'm just looking...
This does not lessen the stress.
No. Gauntlet, let's see. I guess I just need to remember how quick it is with the...
She shifts instantly.
Yeah, with 3. It's 3, it's instantly. Yes, good. So basically you have this feeling of tumbling through the water, and you are now standing in St. Stephen's Green. Same place you were before.
With weevils everywhere.
Except all the people that you saw there a second ago, including the people you were talking to, are gone. Instead, you see animals of all kinds. Lots and lots and lots of animals. Little things from squirrel on upwards, really. You see several ravens. And they're all very intently focused on you.
So basically, Shiva says, I think I'll go find Mary to see if I can go, and poof, Finna's gone.
Yeah.
Finna?
Please go on if you want to describe the Umbra for her more.
What you are also looking at is... Well, it's already dark, but there's no bonfire in here. The bonfire isn't there. So all you have is a beautiful starlit night with a full moon, and all these animals that are standing there looking at you intently. They only look for a little short moment, basically. They look for a short moment, then they basically go about their business, whatever it is animals do. But it's almost like, oh, there's somebody there. Ah, okay. And then they just return to their normal, whatever, as I said, whatever animals are doing. However, they are not afraid of you. You're very close to some of these animals, and they just don't seem to mind you being there.
Yeah, so Finna's just pretty much standing where she appeared, or where she was, just looking at these animals, muttering to herself, "Hvad fanden foregår her?"
Give us subtitles.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on? Or I guess more precisely, what the devil is going on.
Actually, in this scene, we probably see subtitles, right?
Yeah. What you probably don't expect to hear is Kat's voice behind you, saying, "Djævlen har ikke noget som helst at gøre med det her."
Subtitles.
Or, "The devil doesn't have anything to do with this whatsoever." And we'll just keep it in English, but yeah.
Okay. But what the hell is going on?
This is the spirit world. This is what this is what they call the Umbra. We would call it the dream.
Oh.
Or the shadows. More commonly, really, by now. It used to be the dream in the olden days. Nowadays, it's more commonly referred to as the shadows. This is very interesting. You shouldn't know how to get in here this early on. Oh, this is precious, she says, and walks up to you. Don't worry, this is fascinating. It's not dangerous. Not here, anyway. This is a safe place. Oh, I came back here because, quite frankly, the others are so busy getting pissed out of their brains that I thought I might come here and have a word or two with Raven. I didn't expect to see one of you in here already. I am very fascinated by that. You must slip so easily between the worlds. It's a powerful gift.
Except I didn't mean to go.
True, but you will learn how to control it. That's part of the training. And even if you will, I believe, possibly have a slightly harder time controlling it, you will get better at it. Imagine that. You're going to watch the enemies from the shadows. Very fitting for a Rotagar. Very fitting indeed.
If you say so. So
she actually gives you a sort of the closest thing you've seen to a warm smile. And then she gestures to the surroundings. And she says, "It's pretty simple, Fenna. This place was founded by one of us. There aren't many of us here now. The ones who are already here, the Fina, they don't want us here at all. I think you saw how they reacted to me. You certainly saw how they reacted because Raven landed on my shoulder instead of that pompous-ass Ross or someone else's shoulder. This place belongs to us, and the only reason why it isn't ours is because there are more of them than there are of us."
So this is like spirit world?
This is the spirit world. But take a look around you right now, she says. Take a look at the place. She says, it looks much the same as it does in the real world because you haven't gone very deep into the spirit world. Take a look at the layout of this place. How it looks. See the circle there around the center with the cross in the middle? This is a sun wheel. You're standing in the middle of a holy symbol. You don't know all these things yet. You will eventually. Just take my word for it, Fenna. Just take my word for it. I am, and Eric will be when he's not when he's not blood mad, me and Eric, we will be the best friends you and Connell have in this city. The others will smile, they will pat your backs, and then they will sneer and growl at you as soon as you turn away, simply because of who you are. Because you are of our tribe, they will never trust you, they will never treat you as an equal. They will always look upon you as a potential enemy. You and Connell need to stick together. It's all I can tell you. It's you against everyone else.
Are tribes really that important?
Very important. They are... You know how Ross said that this was the closest thing you got to family now? That's kind of true, because the sept that you belong to, the group of werewolves that you belong to, they are your extended family. They are the people that you will be trained by and that you will go to for help and assistance and so on and so forth. Well, think of other tribes as your cousins, not your brothers and sisters, your cousins. By that idiot uncle you don't want to talk to or about, and you don't really like the cousins much either because they're just as stupid as he is. That's what tribes can be. You can also have really great cousins that you really like a whole lot, but they're not your brothers and sisters. Connell is your brother.
And
Eric.
Everyone just sees us as the idiot uncle's family?
No, they probably see you as the axe-wielding, mass-murdering uncle's family, because they don't know any better. They see Eric, and they think we're all like that.
That's not fair, he's Swedish!
She smiles widely. She reaches out and pats you on the shoulder and says, I like you. You get it. You get it. I like you. But quite apart from the fact that he is clearly disabled from birth by virtue of being Swedish, he's also the hardest warrior we have in Dublin. And all the rest of them can do when they look at him is see a blood-crazed monster that is more dangerous to them than to our enemies. No one in this city has killed more enemies of our kind than Eric. No one. And no one ever thanks him for it except me. And I never do it when anybody else hears it, because I can't be seen thanking a Swede.
Disclaimer here, we are very sorry for any Swede actually listening to this.
I'm not.
No, we're not. They need to hand back the occupied eastern territories and introduce humane alcohol laws to the rest of their oppressed population.
You know, we're required by Danish law to say this shit, you know.
Yes, it's genetic.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the game.
So, how do I get the... No, maybe...